They risked their life for me, and I'll never forget it.
New at 6, an Atlanta man thanking two men he's never met who risked their lives to save him from the rough seas of the Florida Gulf Coast. He'd been waiting only a few yards from shore when a life-threatening rip current yanked him out of the sea, injuring him.
It is a harrowing saga, and today he told 11 Alive's John Sherrick the best way that he can thank the men who came out of nowhere to save him is to try to save others now.
He was on vacation with his wife in Seacrest, Florida, on the Gulf Coast on Friday, by himself, standing on a sandbar in waist-deep water.
And, I figured, okay, I'm on the sandbar, I'll be safe, it's only waist-deep, but it happened just like that.
Atlanta chiropractor Dr. Patrick Solarulo says the bottom just dropped out, and a rip current sucked him out to sea. His collarbone broken, he couldn't keep his head above water. He said a prayer, thought only of his wife and two grown daughters.
I started to say, I don't think I'm going to make it.
Just then, two men he'd never met appeared out of nowhere.
Suddenly, I heard two guys calling to me, say, stay calm, we're on our way out.
Dr. Solarulo grateful to his rescuers, Tom Slattery and Kevin LeGraze of New Orleans, but embarrassed, he says, for nearly losing his life and for putting their lives at risk because it was a red flag day at the beach. Lifeguards warning people to stay out of the water because of life-threatening rip currents. The South Walton Fire District in Walton County, Florida, tries to convince people to heed the red flags. Just last week alone, the South Walton Fire District performed 226 public assists, rescuing swimmers in trouble. 22 of those assists were EMS-dispatched water rescues. The people were at risk of drowning. And out of all the rescues last week and all year long, 75 to 80% of them are people having to be rescued from rip currents. Lifeguards can spot rip currents, a flow of water moving so fast out and away from shore. It cuts through the breakers. Swimmers are supposed to be able to move out of the rip currents by swimming parallel to the shore. But in Patrick Solarulo's case, his collarbone broken from the rip current, he couldn't even tread water. His grown daughters, he says, are lecturing him because he should have heeded what he always had taught them.
I haven't been the same since, I'll tell you that. And I pray that no one ever experiences that because it's the most frightening thing that you feel so helpless. They risked their life for me, and I'll never forget it.
A red flag day, he says, to all the families planning a beach trip this summer. A red flag day means it's a pool day for the kids and everyone else. No argument, no discussion. He's telling his story now to try to save someone else.
Wow, what a story, right? Thank you so much, John.